Thank you, sir. Next question from Deborah Summers, question number 2. Mr. Singer, you'll be first up to answer. Sure.
Would you please expound on possible plans for economic development?
Sure, thank you very much. I'm very happy you asked that. Will County's unemployment rate is still higher than the state average. It's higher than the national average. Will County's unemployment rate for years has been consistently higher than our national average. And in our building and trades community, our men and women in the building trades, still to this day experiencing 30, 40% unemployment. And still underneath Mr. Walsh's leadership, Will County invests 0.00024% of our budget towards economic development and job creation. 0.00024. I truly believe we spend more on toilet paper and bathroom tissue than we do on economic development and job creation activities at the county. And that's embarrassing. As the CEO of the county, you have to understand when leadership matters, you have to interject yourself and fight for job creation and economic development opportunities. For the County of Will to partner with the Center for Economic Development in Joliet is a great thing. I'm all for it. I've supported it for years. But simply to write them a $100,000 check every year and say, well, that's it, I've done my job. It doesn't cut it. It doesn't get the job done. That's not results. That's not serving people. Economic development and job creation has to be our top priority because we have more opportunity in Will County than just about anywhere else throughout the Midwest. I like to say, I think we can succeed in Will County despite the fact we're in Illinois, given all the challenges that we have today. I think we can still move forward, but not with the leadership of yesterday and certainly not with the politics of yesterday. We have significant opportunities here in our labor community, our resources, our infrastructure. But when push comes to shove and the hard decisions have to be made about how we're going to balance our budgets, how we're going to invest our monies, and what we're going to say is the most important thing to us. How you spend your money shows what you value the most. And currently, Will County is showing it does not value economic development and job creation.
Mr. Walsh.
Well, I thank my opponent for bringing all that up. And, you know, when it comes to the budget and comes to the levy, after 10 years of being on the county board, I would think my opponent would recognize, realize that the final say-so of the budget, the final say-so of the levy, is done by the legislative branch of the county government, and that's the county board. So, you know, where has the money? Show me the money, Mr. Singer, if you want to see economic development. You keep on cutting everything. You have decimated the highway budget. We have reached out and worked tremendously with Will County Center for Economic Development. Ladies and gentlemen, most of the businesses that need to come to Will County that look for water and sewer is available in the municipalities. Will County cannot service them with water and sewer. We don't have it available. So without regards, without a doubt, they are knocking on the door of Bolingbrook, Romeoville, Plainfield, Joliet, Lockport, all the municipalities. Wilmington annexed 2,000 acres west of I-55 and brought it in under their umbrella in order to open up another logistics park and distribution center because they could provide water and sewer. So I have opened my door. I have had probably the greatest relationships with all the mayors and all the different municipalities throughout Will County that probably has ever existed. That we work hand in hand. And yes, maybe we haven't brought them into an unincorporated area of Will County because we can't service them if we bring them into unincorporated. You give us the money, then we'll gladly show you the results.
Final question of the night. Damon Sloan, Dean of Students here at the University of St. Francis, and we start with Mr. Walsh.
All right. So much of governing right now is being reactive. So when I saw your website, Mr. Walsh, it said that you, quote, planned more proactively for the future of our region, end quote. So what examples can you provide which demonstrate your proactive nature? And in light of the new congressional boundaries, which slice Will County into 6 different congressional districts, How will it be possible to continue to do that and work proactively and collaboratively? And Mr. Singer, what specific proactive plans would you have for the county if elected?
Well, I think I've shown over the last 8 years, you know, we live in a great county with some great history. But, you know, I go under the model of remember the past, govern for today, and plan for the future. And I think that proactively we have taken stands in regards to what we're doing with the airport. No matter what my opponent says, I'm telling you that the former county executive was this close to partnership. And the Business Labor Coalition was never created before I got here. It was after I actively took a role on this with the CED. But we have to be out there. We have to plan for the future. You have to work with your municipalities. I have a great relationship with, as I said, with the Joliets, the New Lenox, and all the different, and Roger Clare, and Bolingbrook, and John Noble. But we work together, and we look at the sites that need addressing, like Weber Road intersection with I-55, with the difficult decision, a very difficult decision on supporting the Ileana Highway. When the governor was planning on doing the Ileana, it was going to be from I-65 in Indiana to 57 in Illinois. The CED leaders and myself and some other leaders from South Cook, we went down to Springfield, met with the Secretary of Transportation, and showed them firsthand this designation. If you go from 57 to 55, another 25 miles, look at what you're going to accomplish. And that is how that added extension got added on. That's the kind of leadership that you can knock on doors in Springfield and be able to get results.
Mr. Singer?
Thank you. First of all, Mr. Walsh, we're not talking about flushing toilets, we're talking about leadership. You are the CEO of the county. The budget does not become a budget in Will County until you sign it. You can talk all you want to about how the county board's role is to amend it and pass it in its final form, but until you sign it, it is in a budget. And if you thought those things were a priority, and if you really believe they were a priority, you would have put them in the budget, you would have included them there, and you would have fought for them. And instead you didn't, and this is where we sit today.
Sir,
To be proactive is exactly why I'm running today. First, to begin with, we will stop property tax increases in Will County. Will County does not need another property tax increase. We don't need more of your revenue. What we need is leadership. The county does not need an increase in your property taxes. We will sincerely, authentically invest in economic development. Again, it is embarrassing. The 0.00024% of our budget goes to economic development and job creation. But also to talk about being proactive and moving to tomorrow means changing the politics of today and moving to the politics of tomorrow. The politics of yesterday is the politics of Chicago. The politics of yesterday is hiring all your friends and your family and using your office as a job center for your friends and your family. And that is where we are today. Nearly every one of Mr. Walsh's family has a government job. Nearly every one of his family members is on some government payroll somewhere, and it costs taxpayers over $600,000 a year. That's the politics of yesterday. When you use your office to promote your family and your friends, when you're more committed to your political party, when you won't stand up to Congressman Jackson and Rush and Lipinski because they're in your party. That's the politics of yesterday. So part of being proactive and creating results for people is to shed the politics of yesterday and move forward to the politics of tomorrow.
Thank you, Mr. Singer. 30-second wrap-up for Corey Singer.
Sure. First of all, again, thank you all very much for the opportunity to be here tonight. Thank you for the venue. As I just mentioned, as the county executive, I am looking forward to the opportunity to serve with energy and enthusiasm, to hold ourselves accountable to measurable results and goals to produce results for the residents of Will County. We will stop property tax increases. They are not necessary. We will invest in economic development and produce real results based upon our goals. And most importantly, we will stop the politics of yesterday. My office will not be used as a hiring and forum for friends and family.
Thank you, Mr. Singer. Mr. Walsh?
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, over these last 4 years specifically, it's been a very difficult challenge to be an elected official. But let me ask you, my opponent always looks at the glass half empty. I look at the glass half full. I think we have an unbelievable chance out here, an unbelievable challenge to make Will County even greater than what I see it as it is right now. As a governmental entity,
I'll give you 10 extra seconds.
as a governmental entity, how many have you seen in the paper or on the news that are having financial problems? You don't hear one story coming from Will County that they can't pay their bills, they can't balance their budgets, they pay their bills. I'll take Will County any day.
Ladies and gentlemen, for